7 moments that change a man forever. There are days in a man's life that fade into the background, days defined by routine, alarm clocks, and endless small tasks. But then, without warning, life drops an anchor into quiet waters. A man does not change through comfort, nor does he mature simply by turning a page on the calendar. Real transformation happens in brief, irreversible moments, fractures in time where the world you thought you knew vanishes, and a new reality takes its place. These are not the victories celebrated in public, nor are they the milestones printed on diplomas. They are quiet, heavy, and deeply personal shifts. If you look closely at any man who carries himself with quiet resilience, you are looking at someone who has walked through specific fires. Today we examine the 7 fundamental moments that permanently alter the psyche of a man. Moment 1. Holding his child for the first time. The first moment arrives not in loss, but in profound weight. Holding his child for the very first time. Up until this second, a man's world revolves around his own ambitions, his own survival, and his own identity. He plans his future around what he wants to build and where he wants to go. But the instant that fragile, breathing life is placed in his hands, an invisible shift occurs in his mind. Philosophically, his center of gravity leaves his own body forever. He realizes that his life is no longer entirely his own. The world suddenly feels both infinitely more precious and infinitely more dangerous. A quiet instinct wakes up, an unspoken oath to protect, to provide, and to endure whatever comes next. It is the exact moment a boy dies and a father is born. He looks down at a face that depends entirely on his strength, and for the first time in his life, selfishness ceases to be an option. Moment 2. The death of his father. The second moment is one of the heaviest realities a man will ever face. The death of his father. Regardless of whether the relationship was filled with admiration, distance, or unspoken conflict, a father represents something foundational. He is the original shield between a man and the harsh forces of the world. As long as your father is alive, there is a subtle subconscious feeling that someone is standing ahead of you in line. When a father passes away, that shield vanishes in an instant. Suddenly, you step up to the front line. There is no one left above you to ask for ultimate guidance or to lean on when the storm hits. You realize that you are now the elder, the pillar, the anchor for those behind you. It is a sobering passage of time. A man looks in the mirror after losing his father and realizes he is no longer living under someone else's shadow. He is now responsible for creating the shade. Moment 3. The call that changed everything. Moment number 3 comes in the dark, usually without warning. Getting the call that someone you love is gone. Tragedy rarely announces itself. It does not wait until you are prepared or mentally strong enough to handle it. It breaks through an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, or wakes you up from a peaceful sleep in the middle of the night. The sound of a voice breaking on the other end of the line alters the physical atmosphere of the room. In 10 brief seconds, reality cracks open. This moment forces a man to confront the absolute fragility of human existence. It strips away trivial worries, petty arguments, and meaningless ambition. You realize how quickly everything can be stolen, how permanent never again truly is, and how fragile the people around you are. A man who receives that call never hears a ringing phone the same way again. He develops a quiet awareness of mortality that stays with him for the rest of his days. Moment 4. Watching love fade away. The fourth moment is a slow, agonizing realization. Watching the woman you love fall out of love with you. Sudden heartbreak is painful, but watching love erode over months is a different kind of torture, or it is the gradual disappearance of warmth. The way a smile becomes forced, how conversations shorten into polite logistics, and how affection turns into emotional distance. You try to fix it, to reignite the spark, to rebuild what once felt indestructible. But you quickly learn a harsh truth. You cannot negotiate desire, and you cannot force someone's heart to stay where it no longer belongs. Watching love die in real time breaks a man's ego. It teaches him that effort alone does not guarantee devotion, and that sometimes holding on does far more damage than letting go. It leaves a quiet scar, one that forever changes how he protects his heart in the future. Moment 5. Left at rock bottom. Moment 5 tests the foundation of a man's character. Getting left when you are at rock bottom. It is one thing to lose your footing, to face financial ruin, career failure, or mental exhaustion. But the true test comes when the people who swore to stand by you during the sunshine pack up and leave the moment the storm begins. When you have nothing left to offer, no status, no wealth, and no energy, you find out who was loyal to you and who was merely loyal to what you provided. Being abandoned in your darkest hour is a cold, brutal teacher. It forces a man to realize that his ultimate survival rests entirely on his own shoulders. When he finally pulls himself up out of that pit, and he rises as a fundamentally different person. He becomes self-reliant, cautious, and intensely selective about who gets a seat at his table. Moment 6. Becoming what he hated. The sixth moment is perhaps the most uncomfortable shift of all. Realizing he has become what he once hated. When we are young, we make idealistic promises. We vow never to become cold, never to compromise our values, never to treat people with detachment, and never to let the world make us bitter. Then life happens. Pressure mounts. Compromises are made out of survival, self-defense, or sheer exhaustion. And then comes a random moment of clarity. You react to someone with coldness. You make a compromise you swore you never would, or you catch your tone in a mirror, and it hits you. You have adopted the very behaviors that once wounded you. This realization breaks a man's self-delusion. It forces him to stop blaming the world and take honest responsibility for his own dark side. It is the moment where true self-awareness begins. Moment 7, and truly alone for the first time. The final moment is the ultimate trial. Truly being alone for the very first time. Not just physically alone in a quiet room, but existential solitude. The deep realization that no one is coming to save you. No parents to fix the mess. No partner to validate you. No audience to applaud your struggle. For many men, this moment feels like drowning. The noise of modern distraction fades, and all that remains is your own mind, your past mistakes, and your current reality. But if a man can endure this solitude without running away into distractions, vices, or fake validation, something miraculous happens. The fear of being alone dissolves, replaced by an unshakable inner stillness. He realizes that if he can be at peace with himself in the dark, nothing in the outside world can ever break him again. These 7 moments do not destroy a man. They refine him. They strip away illusion, burn away fragility, and forge a mind capable of standing strong no matter how hard the storm blows.